There you go, Rachel. See, we're vibing again. Rachel's on Team Wealthy Idiots. We'll go ahead and hire Rachel. She's going to have to take a big pay cut, but we're going to have her and Ken now. So we're just going to take over the whole Ramsey show over here. Nah, I'm just kidding. Hey everybody, my name's AJ, and this is the Wealthy Idiot Show. Before we begin, make sure to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Please subscribe so you don't miss any of this good content. If you're new, we're trying to provide good financial advice and steer you away from the bad stuff. Today I found an episode of our best friends over at Team Ramsey, where the caller asked about paying off his personal home before investing. And obviously I've got thoughts about that. I was gonna do a reaction video to this channel, which is basically this lady who is a gold digger coach. I mean, there's really no other way around it. She basically gives ladies tips on how to find rich men in high society and get them to do what they want them to do. I may do some reactions about that. If you want to see a reaction on that, please comment down below. I'm interested to see if anybody would be curious. I thought it might be, a good hybrid of relationship and financial stuff, seeing as she's going after wealthy men, and maybe we got to talk about what that looks like. But for now, let's take a look at this episode called "I was advised not to pay off my house, what should I do?" ? Let's get into it.
Hey guys, big fan of the show. Hi John, hi Rachel. How are you today?
We're doing great. Thanks for giving us a call. How can we help?
John calling John.
All right, I have a tough one.
Okay.
I have $170,000 remaining balance on my 15-year fixed mortgage.
Okay.
2.0% rate, so it's a great rate.
That is a great rate, 2.0%, so basically 2%. On a 15-year, I would recommend not having a 15-year, have a 30-year instead. I know that Dave Ramsey's team is not going to like me on that one, but a 2% rate is absolutely outstanding.
Financial advisor and accountant insist I should not pay it off.
As they all do.
However,
Correct. You should not.
However, I have about $170,000 in savings.
Nice.
The problem is I skipped the baby step, and I have no college savings for the kids.
Okay, but you do though, John. It may not be in a college-specific fund like a 529, but you have $177,000 or $170,000 saved up for a lot of stuff. Could be for his retirement, could be for his kids' college. I mean, you do it, John. You do have money saved up for your kids' college.
I have no other debt. I can immediately start that. So I did skip that baby step.
No, what do you pay every month in your mortgage?
Principal and interest is about $2,600.
Okay.
How old are your
Not
kids?
including the property tax. 11, 7, and 5.
Okay.
And household income's about $400.
Okay, holy smokes, John. Chillax, dude. Jeez.
Okay.
Can I tell you what I'm doing in my house?
So, yes, sir.
If I have a 12-year-old and a 6-year-old, and if I was in your exact same boat and I had $170,000 in savings, I would pay my house off before the end of the day is over.
Of course John would. He'd pay his house off. He'd feel better because he didn't have debt. I don't entirely know. I don't really get this argument here, but this dude is making $400,000 a year. He has 100 and something saved. I'm going to assume he's got some stuff in. I mean, they didn't ask, at least so far. He's got to have some stuff in like 401ks or something. I mean, not only is he fine with his house, he makes $400,000 a year. Like, your house is fine, dude. What I would do is, like, immediately, maybe this year, save enough to cover the whole cost of your house and turn around and put it in index funds. Don't even think about it. Just stick it in index funds. Stick it in dividend paying stocks or dividend paying index funds. There's tons of those out there. And then now you're secure. Now you're secure the same way John's secure, except for that you're making money and John's lost a whole bunch of money. Sorry, I mean Ramsey John lost a whole bunch of money, not Caller John. Caller John, you gotta call this show. We got you.
And then, but write a big check tonight. I mean, like have a level of it to be like, oh, okay, we're getting there. And yes, what you're saying with your income, with your income level, obviously depending on where your kids go to school, because they all won't be in school together at the exact same time, that you may be able to cash flow it completely just off of your income. But the question is, will you have that same level of income in 10 years?
Let me do this. Here's some back of the napkin math, okay? I'm just using my cell phone calculator here. If you take that $2,600 that you pay every month and multiply it by 12, that's $31,000 a year you're sending, not including your taxes, okay? Your child is 11. Is that what you said? Your oldest?
Yes.
Okay, so it's 7 years until they go to college. So if I just take $31,000 times 7, that's 218. That's $220,000. That's not cash flowing. That's just if you just kept making your mortgage payment and stuck it in a 0% earning checking account.
The fact that it's a good rate and it's 2% and it's an attractive mortgage, so to speak, that has no bearing whether my rate's 2% or 5%.
It really doesn't. Yeah.
Here at the Wealthy Idiot Show, we play the net worth game. We don't play the pay off debt and call that financial peace game. We're actually looking for financial peace, meaning we're looking for financial freedom. We're trying not to be tied down to a job. So imagine, I don't know how old John is, but let's say John's in his 60s when his oldest kid is in college, or his youngest kid is in college. He's trying to figure out how to pay. He still has to keep working. He has no choice because he put himself into a position where that's what he's got to do. It doesn't sound like he's got a great retirement plan going, right? So we got to get that going. You're not in a great spot, John, for paying off your mortgage. You're just not, right? Turn around, put this money, some of it into a 529 so you get the tax benefit for the kids. Put some of it into index funds that pay dividends. Start cutting down your lifestyle a little bit and add more to those dividends paying index funds. Start growing that. Maybe even look into real estate, but don't touch your mortgage. There is no reason to touch this mortgage. In fact, if you wanted, you can come pay me all that money and I'll assume the mortgage for you. And then I'll take all that cash and I'll invest it and I'll have those investments cover that entire mortgage cost for me and I'll get rich while you're feeling good about not having any debt.
But the norm out there is that they're playing a math game, John. So on the math side, could you invest that mortgage payments, or keep the mortgage and not have a low interest rate? I mean, all the math game that is played in that industry, like we have brains, like we see it and we're like that. I get what they're saying.
There you go, Rachel. See, we're vibing again. Rachel's on team Wealthy Idiots. We'll go ahead and hire Rachel. She's going to have to take a big pay cut, but we're going to have her and Ken now. So we're just going to take over the whole Ramsey show over here. Nah, I'm just kidding.
There's I get it.
That could happen.
But John, like what freedom does to you and what peace does to you when you don't owe anyone anything.
It does change the game, but he's going to pay off this mortgage and then what? He still has to work to survive. He still now has to fund his kids' retirement or his kids' college accounts. He still has to fund his retirement. And that job better be there tomorrow. Otherwise, all this stuff is going down the drain. But it's not just a math game. So she keeps calling it, look, the math game, the math game. They're playing a math game too. I mean, they literally just did it. Back of the napkin numbers. They did the math game. All right, if you were to pay it off and you were to do this and you were to do that, in this amount of time, you'd have this much money. That's the same thing everyone else is doing. That's the math game. The difference is here, we encourage you to start off with your net worth. Figure out what your net worth is. Now figure out the fastest path to grow that net worth with a low amount of risk. The younger you are, the more risk you can take on. The older you are, the less risk you can take on. That's pretty basic stuff. It's not controversial by any means.
Think back to 30 months ago. Rachel and I were in downtown Manhattan when they came out of Broadway and said Broadway is closed until further notice as COVID was kicking off. We were in there in March. I think March.
Yeah, we had a big work event that we were doing, and we were all down there.
Yeah.
All the Ramsey personalities, and we were literally there. Yeah,
so
they canceled the NBA.
Go back to that moment and imagine not having a house payment. Do you give a crap what the interest rate is back then? No.
Not really.
No.
And then the idea of, or the age-old saying of cash is king and, holding cash and having more than your emergency fund and just sitting on it while you have the mortgage, that's a fallacy in your opinion, right? It's like cash is king, but I have debt. So
you're solving for freedom, brother.
Right.
You're solving for freedom. And when you have debt and you've got savings, all you're doing is holding the bank's money for them. Yeah, so you have cash as king, but you don't have cash. You've got their money just in your account. So I would just give it to them. Like what does Happy Gilmore say? Just send him home. Just send him home.
Just send him home.
Just send him home, man. Hey, congratulations, my brother.
Yeah,
and,
John, well done.
90 days, you're free. Free.
Appreciate it.
That's it. I know. Well done, John. You've done a fantastic job. Absolutely incredible.
Well, that's the end of the video. Let's say this bull market comes out at as average and we get 25% gains every year for the next 4 years after this bear market. I'll be sitting on $415,000. I'll take it, right? I'll take your debt. It's not a big deal, right? You could be sitting on in 4 years. I'm not saying this is guaranteed. I'm just saying this is the average of what happens. Could be more, could be less, could be more. $415,000. Then you could take that. Let's say you put it into dividend stocks that return 4%. That's $16,000 a year that you could gain in the next 4 years. $16,000 a year. Plus, you're going to continue investing. You'll add your own money. And as time goes on, this will be greater and greater and greater till the point where you now have financial peace, mortgage or no mortgage. So sorry about being super passionate about that one. I'm very passionate about financial freedom. I think the team Ramsey is missing it. They kind of are they're hinting around it recently, which I do think is really interesting. We had Ken last week talking about it a little bit. Even Rachel right here being like, hey, we can see what you're talking about when it comes to the numbers. They're starting to kind of talk around it, which I haven't really seen from them before. So I think that's kind of interesting. But if you like this video, please like down below. If you disagree, throw down your disagreements. I enjoy seeing them. If you want to talk about gold diggers, comment down below as well, and I'll see you guys next time.